Increasing our general understanding and knowledge of how money works is definitely crucial to managing it better, but that's not all we can do. So the little things that we don't always think about, they also matter. So today we're looking at a few tiny things that you can start doing differently with your money starting today. But before we jump in, don't forget to like and comment for the algorithm, and also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more personal finance videos. So the first thing to do differently is to stop associating saving money with depriving yourself. Now, when it comes to being better with money and saving more, yes, there is a measure of sacrifice involved. If you're currently spending a lot of your extra cash on fun and entertainment, you are going to have to cut back if you want any chance of getting ahead financially. But just because you're on a journey to save money or pay off debt, this does not mean that you have to eliminate all fun from your life, nor does it mean that you have to completely give up the things you enjoy. Some people think that saving money involves only spending on what they absolutely need. So if they have any type of splurge or indulgence, they feel that they're not taking their savings efforts seriously. But this type of thinking can have two possible outcomes. On one hand, the person might feel that saving money is too hard or restrictive and not even try, or they might deprive themselves to the point of frugal burnout where they just give up altogether. So my point is, while you should expect to make some sacrifices and you'll likely need to cut back in certain areas, you don't have to deprive yourself to hit your savings goals. The trick here is moderation. So when you're creating your budget for the month, make sure you're also setting aside cash for fun. In addition, try committing to less talking about change and more doing. Sometimes I'll hear someone say, one day I'm going to start a side hustle, or one day I'm going to come up with a plan to start saving more and pay off debt. And while it's good to have a plan, the problem is that one day never comes for some people. So 5 years later, these individuals are sometimes in the same place saying the same thing. So starting today, stop talking about making financial changes and actually take the first baby step. So if you want to start paying off your credit card debt, this week, stop using the card and also make an extra payment no matter how small. And if you want to start saving money, this week, cancel a subscription service and start paying yourself this amount each month. And this is so important because action is really one of the first steps to financial empowerment and building financial confidence, where basically you start to feel as if you are in control of your money instead of having your money control you. Another thing to do differently is to stop taking advice from broke people. Now, this does not mean that you should only take advice from people who have a lot of money. That is not what I'm saying. Many people have dealt with circumstances beyond their control, which has limited their ability to save. And some people have made past money mistakes, but currently they have a plan in place to help them get to a better place financially. So if these people give you good advice, by all means, take it. I'm talking specifically about people who are broke because of their own doing. They might have a you only live once attitude, or they overindulge, or they might be living above their means, and not because they have to, but because they're trying to live that life. People like this are not going to encourage you to make smart decisions with your money. If anything, they're going to encourage you to manage your money the way they do. I've encountered people like this in the past, and let me tell you, sometimes they can be very persuasive and pushy with their opinions, and sometimes it almost feels as if they're a little bothered by the fact that you're choosing to be more responsible with your money. Now, granted, we can't know everyone's money situation, but if you listen closely to their conversations about money, sometimes you can pick up on clues that kind of speak to where they are financially. And if you suspect that they're not in a great place, they're probably not the best person to take advice from. Another thing to do differently is don't be afraid to suggest cheaper alternatives. Financial peer pressure is real, and it does hurt a lot of people. And what might happen is that someone in the group suggests an activity or an experience that's expensive, and most people will just go along with it to save face because they don't want to admit that they can't really afford it. And to be fair, not everyone within a friends group will be at the same income level, and those who earn more, they might want to do activities that cost more, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel that every suggestion is over the top and crazy expensive, don't be afraid to speak up and suggest alternatives that are more cost effective but just as fun. And this applies even if you technically have the money to spend on a costly experience, but you would rather spend less. And by suggesting something cheaper, you might actually be voicing what others are thinking, and some in the group might come to the realization that they don't have to go into debt or burn through a lot of their savings in order to have a good time. And the final thing to do differently with your money is don't be afraid to take risk. And to be clear, this is not implying financial irresponsibility. I'm referring to calculated risk. And if you're not familiar with this term, this is a carefully considered decision based on thorough research. And although there is some risk of failure, there's also a high risk of success. Examples of calculated risk can include investing in real estate, leveraging debt to start a business, or even investing in the stock market. And you have a lot of people who want to do these things, but they don't take the first step because of fear, which is understandable. But while fear can protect us and our money, you shouldn't let it completely control your financial decisions. Keep in mind that knowledge reduces fear. So before making any type of big decision, make sure you research, you educate yourself, and you consider worst case scenarios. Because the more you understand about something, the less scary it might seem. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and I'll see you in a few days.